Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Funeral service for Helen R. Davis, age 81, of Sylacauga, will be today at Curtis and Son North. That service begins at 1 o'clock. Burial to follow in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Online memorials at Curtis and Son FH.com, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Graveside service for Jesse Elvis Presley, age 63, of Grimes Chapel, will be Saturday at 2 o'clock at Grimes Chapel Cemetery. I'll be officiating that service. Visitation at the North Chapel on Saturday from 12:30 until 1:30. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Celebration of life for Mrs. Willa M. Clisby will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from Greater New Hope Baptist Church, with interment in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Funeral service directed by Grace Memorial Chapel Funeral Home in Sylacauga. Mrs. Clisby died on February the 5th at her residence in Sylacauga. Funeral service for Leland D. Elston Bo Jackson, age 52, is Saturday at 2:30 from St. Mary Baptist Church, with the Reverend Philip Keith, the pastor, and the Reverend Kerry Embry officiating. Interment in the Pine Grove Baptist Church Cemetery. Mr. Elston died February 10th. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Anniston Funeral Service directing. Celebration of life for Mr. Willie Frank Chick Jackson, age 64, is Saturday at 2 o'clock from New Hope Baptist Church in Sylacauga, with Reverend Bobby L. Harris officiating. Burial in the New Hope Baptist Church Cemetery. Visitation today, 1 until 8 at the funeral home. Mr. Jackson died February 11th at Grandview Medical Center in Birmingham. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org, Community Funeral Home directing. Homegoing celebration for Mary Nell Brown Jones, age 82, is 3 o'clock Saturday at Terry's Mortuary Chapel in Talladega, with Pastor J.F. McKinney delivering the eulogy. Interment in the Westview Cemetery. Ms. Brown died on Wednesday. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary in Talladega in charge of the arrangement. Celebration of life for Mrs. Eliza Kidd Stockdale, age 89, is noon Saturday at Kelly Springs Missionary Baptist Church, with the Reverend L.L. Jacobs, the pastor, and Pastor Bobby J. Welch delivering the eulogy. Chairman of the Lane Chapel Church Cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary directing. Funeral service for Harold Ray Kelly Sr., age 73, of Sylacauga, will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from the chapel at Radley Smith Funeral Home. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mr. Kelly died February 13th at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Visitation Saturday from 11 until 1 at the funeral home. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleysmith.com, Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga directing. Mr. Calvin Kidd, age 71, died February 13th, Community Funeral Home announcing. Funeral service for Mr. Willie Lee Maxwell, age 97, of Coosa County, will be 2 o'clock Saturday at New Elam Baptist Church on Highway 9 in Kelladon. Burial in the church cemetery. Visitation today at the funeral home from 1 until 7. Armours Memorial Funeral Home, Alexander City, directing. Funeral service for Mr. Emmett J. Armour, formerly of Goodwater, will be Saturday at 10 o'clock from Great Bethel Baptist Church in Alexander City. Burial in the Armours Memorial Garden. Visitation is today, 1 until 7 at the funeral home. Armours Memorial Funeral Home directing. J.F. Barber, age 89, died February 10th. Funeral service today for the Reverend J.F. Barber will be at 2 o'clock at Ursery Funeral Home Chapel in Talladega, with the Reverend Rodney Tyson officiating. Burial in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. The family will receive friends today, 12:30 till 2 o'clock at the funeral home. Reverend Barber was a military veteran and of the Korean War. He is a graduate of Baptist Bible Institute in Graceville, Florida, with a degree in theology. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. In lieu of flowers, the family requests contribution be made to the Choctaw Paws, P.O. Box 206, Butler, Alabama, 36904, Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega directing. Mr. Charles Edward Delaney, age 84, died February the 11th. Family receiving friends today, 6 until 8 o'clock at Talladega Funeral Home. Funeral service on Saturday at 11 a.m. in the chapel of Talladega Funeral Home. Pastor Lynn Childress will officiate, and Carlton Edwards will also be speaking. Burial in the Patton Chapel Cemetery in Lincoln. Talladega Funeral Home in charge of the arrangements. These obituaries this morning brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. It's Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.